Hey guys, Trent now here at Vigno Studios, back again on my Playfest review by the McMurry University. And today is This Is How It Gets Better by Sterling Halliburton. Uh, Last time I did Lionheart by Matthew Lamar, and I gave that one a solid 8 to a 9 out of 10. Because it was a very simple story, told very well. And this one, I think This Is How It Gets Better, is the true epitome of that statement. So, this is a two-person show, which is the smallest cast of all of these shows. All the other shows have like four, maybe like three, maybe four, if not more, so in their show. This is just a two-person show, and this is this is probably the shortest one of the other five. So, what is This Is How It Gets Better about, Trent? You might be asking. Well, the premise of this is Tom, a college student, has recently lost his best friend, Nick, from suicide. And the whole show is about him dealing with that grief, and dealing with just the thought that his best friend just committed suicide. So it's two-person show. Who's the second person? Well, in the show, he is visited by the ghost/memory of Nick, and throughout I think this was maybe 45 minutes at most. I think, but the whole show is just them bantering back and forth about the situation Tom's in. At first, I mistook Nick and Tom to the reverse. I thought it was Tom that was the dead best friend and Nick was the main character, but I digress. So, let me get into the technical side real quick. This was directed by Kelton Verman. If you don't remember, he portrayed Daniel, the character Daniel, in Lionheart by Matthew Lamar. So, everything about this was student-made, student-directed, student-written, and student-produced. Obviously, with the main department heads as the artistic and technical directors, but like the light design, sound design, set design, the writing, and the directing, the main directing, were students. Yeah, let me actually look at this. I didn't get into this the first video, but the Playfest crew, the artistic director, Nina McLean, great job. This was very well done. Technical director, L.W. Miller, great. Dude's probably like the ace in his field here. Production manager, Emma Gates. Emma, I gotta say, you worked your ass off for these shows, and I guess I don't think you're told thank you enough. The same with everyone here, like scenic designers, Zane Wilcar. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Trent. In my previous video, I didn't realize who the scenic designer was, as in the set design. That Zane. Zane, you worked your ass off for these sets, man. I don't know how you do it, because I am guilty of not helping out as much as I should have, because I am part of the department. Got the theater department shirt from the university, and yeah, I'm guilty of not helping out as much as I should have. But you worked your ass off, and it really showed with these sets, man. Props master Sue Ellen Hunter. There was not a lot of props in these shows, but I think the props themselves worked well for what they were. Light design, Matt Lamar, who was also the playwright for Lionheart. I did not expect anything less of the lights from you, man. And sound designer Joe Caden. Joe's like our main sound guy at this point. And dude, everyone in the crew worked their ass off. Joe, you worked your butt off for sound design. He was also sound design for Doll's House, the production of Doll's House that the theater did. Every one of them worked their butts off. So I know I'm weeks behind, weeks behind on reviewing these 5 shows, but your work is always appreciated. I just hope you guys know that. So, what is This Is How It Gets Better? Back to that, I should say. So we have Nick, the dead best friend, portrayed by Babak Akavan, and Tom, portrayed by Roberto Rueda. Director Kelton Verman. I can't. I'll get into it in a second. Stage manager Mackenzie Ferris. Board operators Mackenzie and Lee Neighbors. And the playwright Sterling. I gotta say, all the board operators, the running crew, everyone did a fantastic job with this show. These shows, I should say. What am I saying? Everyone that is part of the crew, y'all did fantastic. Y'all worked your butts off with these rehearsals, with these, just everything about this Playfest. It was a big crunch to the finish line, and I think everyone did a great job. I know in my last video for Lionheart, it seemed I was a little apathetic, and I apologize for that. I should say I'm not actually apathetic about it, but I just want everyone to know y'all did fantastic here. So, Sterling, message for you, man, on this one. I will say this straight up. For the second show in this series of shows, in terms of writing and depth, I think yours was the strongest of the 5. Not saying that the others were bad or anything, but the level of nuance between these 2 characters in this quick show really brought the emotions out and really brought why the show meant so much. The chemistry between Nick and Tom were stellar. It made me tear up on some of the harder things, because I'm not gonna say I get emotional easily, but I have a close relationship with my best friends, and just the thought of them going down that path hurts. So this really brought it out to me in the emotion department. So I want to thank you for that, Sterling. Why am I saying thank you? Thanks for making me cry, you dick. No, I'm kidding. No, this was very well done in the emotion department. Because this one is so short, I can't go over the story, because it's just the back and forth between the 2 characters, and it's the story of grief. So I can't really get into it, because all this is just them chatting. But the play ends with Nick leaving, because memory ghosts, and Tom is just there to cope, and it's a pretty bittersweet ending. I say bittersweet because, yes, mental health is very important, and you must. And getting over grief is a very long thing. It's a very long journey. So I commend that. But losing someone so close to you is not the end of the world. It shouldn't be. And I understand. I understand it completely, that it is a very long process. But this is how it gets better. As the play is titled, I think that really encapsulates what it is. So, if I were to give this one a rating, first of all, let me talk about this before I rate it. There was very little sound design. I think that was purposeful, because you don't need sound design, because it's just the 2 characters talking, and it's because it's nonstop. You don't need it. But the set was just like a little college dorm. It's messy on Nick's side, clean on Tom's side. And showcase how far in depression Tom has gone through. And I thought that was portrayed very well with the set itself. So that kudos again to the set guys. I can't gush over it enough with all these sets. if I were to give this one a rating, like I said, this one was probably the strongest of the 5 in terms of the storytelling and the nuance of the story. I think I'd have to give this, at minimum, this one's a 9. Like, I can't go any lower than that. It is a solid, great 9. Maybe a 10. Maybe. I want to give this a 10 so bad. But if I give this a 10, even in taking into account stage, the difference between stage and all the other stuff like I did for a long time, for Doll's House that I explained, then I guess in a way, a 10 out of 10 doesn't feel special anymore. If I keep giving 10 out of 10s for something I really did enjoy. If this was like on the stage, this was very well done and portrayed. But this is just me, okay? If you did this like as a little fan movie, a little short film, I should say, with the great camera work to accentuate it, then I guess it would be a 10. Then it would be a 10. But you did it so. But how it was directed was done so well. I'm gonna have to go with the in between. This was a 9.5. I think with the added, this is just a hypothetical. With the added bit of if it was a short film, then it'd be a 10. But I can't give it lower than a 9, so it's gonna be a 9.5. And plus, my own personal opinion, I think a 10 out of 10 is reserved. I might make an exception. This will be a 10. It's so debating about whether or not it's a 10 out of 10 trend. Good lord. But yeah, I'll make an exception. This was a 10 out of 10. I know I gave Jake's Women a 10 out of 10 because of how well it was. I think I gave Doll's House a 10 out of 10, or I think I gave it a solid 9. I don't remember. But for this one, of the 5 shows, this was a 10 of the Playfest. I'll make the exception and make this a 10. Sterling, like I said to Matt in the last video, I hope that if you continue playwriting it, you keep soaring higher, man. This is well done. Kelton, how you directed this was, you gave a lot of nuance to the acting. And this was helped by Bobak and Roberto's performances. You guys did so phenomenal on this. Like, I can't think of anything else to really say about it. So, I guess I'll have to leave it on that. This was a 10 out of 10. Lionheart was... I'll give it a 9. That'll be my dead set. So, if you watch these out of order, you're not going to get the context. So I'm going to be releasing them in order from how I record them. So Lionheart, solid 9. This is how it gets better, 10. And the next one will be The Parents of Room 10, a comedy, not a drama, by Maddie Melbourne. So I guess I'll leave that, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.